Hello my planner pals and welcome back, and if you're new here then thank you for joining me and giving me a try. My name is Di, I am here at Creative Karma Design, and today I'm sharing with you my one little word for March. I actually did this last week, but I just didn't get around to posting because I was going to take the long weekend off. And yeah, so here we are today. You can see here that I've printed off some stuff for the current month, the current prompt, and I am just getting some papers and stuff together. I did buy that paper pack March, February, whenever it was, and I just cut some of the pages to the half letter size because that's the size of this album. And again, I've got this stuff here from most of this is from Ali's kit for the year, for the one little word, and then some stuff is from last year as well. So I'm just cutting out some of the stuff from that. There's like little journaling cards, there's a quote, there's all kinds of stuff in that kit. I love that kit, it's just awesome. So yeah, I kind of knew that I wanted to do this kind of layered, rounded corner. I'm into the rounded corners. I don't know what it is, but I'm into rounded corners with my project life things and with this. I don't know, I'm going through a phase, what can I say? So I knew that I wanted this sheet with the rounded corners, and I wanted this March. This is again from the kit, the March. This is in Ali's kit. But yes, I knew that I wanted this, but I kind of wanted to put it on some cardstock. So I'm just going to find the cardstock that I've used for the opposite page, which is this kind of red color. So I'm just deciding if that is what I want to do. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. I think it'll match, so it's good. So I'm adhering that. Again, this adhesive, I'm going to link it down below, but I hate it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Get the Tombow. Again, I don't know whether I've just had a bad batch. I don't know, but I do not like it. It kind of sticky. It's just not good. So I'm going to link it down below purely as a do not buy it. It's called X-Fasten. Do not buy it. Get the Tombow instead, or some other brand. I need to buy some, but yeah, I'm not getting that again. There's another brand that I've had, and I can't think what it is, but it's in a little blue thing. The Tombow and something else, but it's the one that you get from Hobby Lobby. So I'm adhering all of this down, and I'm like trying to decide, do I want to put the March just on the rounded corner bit or all over the whole thing? I decided to put it all over the whole thing in the end. I just think that it just needs something. I just don't know. And I knew that I was going to have to punch the holes out first, because otherwise I tend to journal on things and then punch the holes out afterwards and realize that I've journaled where the holes go. So I'm learning lessons eventually. So I'm trying to decide here, like, because I kind of knew that I wanted this background, this dotty background on the opposite page. I do change my mind later on. Which kind of annoys me. But, you know, that's what this project's all about. It's about playing. So yeah, don't get too attached to the dotty paper, because I actually change my mind later on and do something a little bit different with it. Just something a little bit different. So I put the March on, and I think then I'm going to punch the holes, because again, I have done so many projects where I've journaled and then gone to like punch the holes and been like, crap, I've got to journal, I've got to punch holes out of some of the journaling. So for March, the prompt was to practice something each month. And my goal was I wanted to get back into meditation. Now I put my goal for March is to do at least 3 minutes of meditation each day. This can just be me plus a timer, or a guided meditation using Insight Timer. And that is the app that I use. I use Insight Timer if I'm going to do a guided meditation. And it also says my reason why. And I said there are so many reasons why. To bring myself into the present moment, to help me stop and pause before reacting, to reduce stress and anxiety, to help my blood pressure, and to help bring me out of this funk that I've been in lately and just be me. But this was hard. This monthly practice was hard, and I will share more as I go. But the quote on here says, Say yes to the present moment. Say yes to life and see how life suddenly starts working for you rather than against you. And I don't know if that was from this year's prompt or last year's prompt. But again, I've got 2 years, I've actually got more than that of stuff to use. So again, because I thought I was going to use this dotty paper, I'm putting 2 sheets of the dotty paper together. I love this paper, but I end up not actually using it in this configuration. So again, I'm going to punch the holes because this is where I realize that I've actually flipped the pages, and that's okay. So I'm cutting out the stuff from the kit, and eventually I just decided to do it with my scissors. It's not, again, I've got to try and let go of the perfectionism and just get this done. It would take me forever if I was doing all this with a paper trimmer. I just get it done. Just get it done. And that's been my new mantra. Just get it done. So I've got some little journaling cards. I've got keep going, note to self, and then just this. And these were actually from, I think these were supposed to go with the January prompt, but I decided to use them for this one. Again, there's no rules to this. You do what you want. I've got a photo here of the spread that I did, the monthly spread that I did in my wellness planner. This was where I was going to track. For the month, I was just going to track in this monthly spread, the meditation that I did, and newsflash, did not go as anticipated. But a little heads up there. So I'm just cutting everything out of the sheets that I've made. Again, most of this was just from Ali's kit. I think all of it actually was from Ali's kit, either this year or last year. And I've just changed it in Canva. Again, this is, and I do have videos about that, like changing stuff in Canva. Again, like the tools are there if you just take the time to learn how to use them. So yes, highly recommend using Canva. Just import everything into Canva and then you can just play with it in there. So this is where I'm deciding that this just doesn't look right on this paper. In my head, it looked totally different. So yeah, I got nothing. I don't know. In my head, it looked totally different. And the reality of it is I don't like the bigness, the overly dottiness. And I'm like, is it just that I want to do it on the plaid paper? Like, what is going on here? Do I want to do different sheets? And eventually I go and get it's like a tan. I don't even know what color it is. It was in a pack of cardstock that I got ages ago. It's not craft and it's not tan. It's kind of in between, but it works. It works. So I go cut that down. Again, I don't have to cut it in half because it's 8.5 by 11, right? So it's half letter. So I just take that and I'm like, yep, let's just do that. So I have a half on the right hand side and then the other side I'm just going to do a little bit of. So I'm just kind of deciding, okay, what's going to be my setup? Again, I have these ideas in my head where I'm like, oh, I want to do this and use all of this pattern paper. And then it comes to it and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. My brain doesn't like the busyness of it. Like it just looks too chaotic. And it's weird. I know it's weird, but it just felt too chaotic. So I go and just go with a plain, and I might do this in future, just use the pattern paper in a different way. Like some things need a lot of pattern paper and some things don't. Because I knew that there was going to be a lot of journaling on this, it just would have been way too chaotic. So I'm putting a little strip on the bottom right there just to give a little continuity on the other page. And then I'm just going to adhere everything down. So again, you've got practice makes progress. And again, I end up having to cut out part of the P in practice because that is where the punch goes. Put the photo down and I'm just going to put all the little journaling cards down. And while I'm doing that, I'm thinking about, placement, how I'm going to embellish afterwards. And then that is something that I'm not sure of. And, it's one of those things like I wanted to do this project, and then it comes time to do it. And I'm like, I have too many things that I could put in. I have too many items that I want it to have. So there's such a thing as too many choices, right? And this is why I don't like the whole decision fatigue of sitting down to a blank planner page. It's just too much. So I got keep going. This month I started off strong. I was doing at least 5 minutes a day, but then the funk got too much and all of my habits fell by the wayside. But through it all, I found a new skill, visualization. In the note to self, it says listening, learning, and documenting. I put, rather than meditation through the month, I switched to a visualization practice. This was part of a meditation, and it was to focus on a time and a place where you felt peace. And mine was back in Hawaii in 2015. Like the whole moment that we walked into the condo that we rented. The one on the right-hand side says just this. It says, remember this part of the process. I've put, it's okay to just do 1 minute or even a short moment. Mindfulness is more important than any actual meditation practice. Hawaii visualization meditation is more of an impact on me because of my neurodivergent brain. It says to let go of the restrictions. Let it be loose. Can you just take one breath, one moment right now? So on the daily practice, I've put loving myself through it all because it just made sense, because I needed to give myself some grace because, again, I was in that weird funk. I'm kind of out of it. It's not as bad now. Like I still have the odd moment, but it's mostly 95% I'm through it. I've put a practice doesn't need to be absolutely daily. Let go of the restrictions. Let it be loose. Can you just take one breath, one moment right now? And I think that is the one thing that I've learned is like, stop putting restrictions on things of like, oh, it has to be 3 minutes. It has to be 5 minutes. It has to be 25. Like just as long as you do it and check it off, you're done. On the good stuff, it says this month was a good reminder to me to not to be so constricted and give myself grace. So on the March sheet, I'm trying to decide what I want to embellish here on the pages. I love these butterflies. Again, these were in the 2024 kit. I printed them out on vellum to try and cut them on my Cricut. It didn't work, so I had to hand cut them. This was back in January. And I don't know, I've not tried since, but yeah, I just love those little butterflies on vellum. It just adds a nice bit of texture. And I have a whole sheet of that and the flowers. So I'm like, let's just use some of this stuff. I'm just going to cut it out again. Just getting my scissors, cutting stuff out and putting them on the pages. And I have the butterfly on the bottom left. So I'm like, I wanted to use the butterflies, but I'm like, I'm just going to use the flowers. The flowers seem like the thing. The flowers seem like the thing. I spent far too long deciding on where to place these. Again, when I get in this weird funk, I start second guessing absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. So I'm just trying to decide where I want these flowers. And again, it's just like, just stick them down. It doesn't really matter. Just stick them down. And I stuck them down in the middle, like in the center of the flower, and then curled up the edges a little bit so that it's a little textured. So I actually printed out 2 of these bottom left good tags. I did that by mistake. It was just, whatever. And what I did was I cut the second butterfly out and then put adhesive just on the body of the butterfly. And then I lifted up the wings. So it's more textured. And I think that is, again, what I've said I've been missing since I stopped doing card making and scrapbooking. I've missed the textured side of it. But just looking at it now, as I've been reading the cards to you and stuff, like I love that little butterfly. I love how it's so textured. It's so much yes. It's so good. It's the good stuff, Di. So yeah, I'm cutting out more of the flowers and trying to decide where I want those. And I'm just like, I don't need another flower. I'm trying to find this visual triangle. I'm like, I don't need it. I've got the butterfly, the flower, and the flower. And I'm still trying to decide. And I'm like, you don't need it. Just get rid of it. So again, this is where I'm curling up the little leaves just to give it a little bit of dimension on the page. Just curling them up a little bit just to kind of lift it a little. And you just, it's like any project. It's just the little touches that make it So those are my 3 pages for March. I've got the power of practice, all about the meditation practice that I started, and then how it morphed into visualization. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time, my planner pals. Bye.